my name is David Garcia, and I'm the CEO of Scout Logic. Thank you for joining us in the next installment of our case study series. We're really excited today. Joining us is Andy Arquette. Andy is the Chief Financial Officer for Fairlife. Fairlife provides nourishment and vitality to the world through a wide range of better-for-you products. We've been really privileged to work with Fairlife for the past few years and are grateful to Andy for spending some time with us today. Andy, thanks so much for joining us today.
David, you're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Terrific. Hey, before we get started on the background check side of things, would love for you just to share a little bit about Fairlife and your employee population.
Sure. Fairlife is a company that we started about 10 years ago. We are a manufacturer and branded seller of dairy products of value-added milk. We are unique in terms of we started our own brands, and we also own our entire supply chain.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we have 3 manufacturing facilities in the United States. We're building our 4th one outside of Phoenix. So a lot of our workforce is plant-based around the country.
Mm-hmm.
We hire quite a few hourly employees to man our manufacturing lines.
Mm-hmm.
Our headquarters is in Chicago, Illinois, and that's where most of our marketing team and R&D team and corporate operations folks are. So we've had significant growth starting from employee number 1. We're probably about 500 employees on our way to about 700 employees when our new plant opens.
It's so exciting, Andy. At Scout Logic, we are very grateful for the opportunity to have been with you for part of that journey with your tremendous growth. You know, as you've gone through this, a lot of new people have joined the company. If you can share any kind of recruiting challenges or background check specific challenges you had before we started working together.
Sure. Our recruiting challenges were basically someone picking up the phone. If you're a known entity, if you're a known company, if you're General Motors or the Coca-Cola company, people know who you are. In the early days, we had no plants, we had no brands, we had nothing. And really recruiting someone to come and join you on a dream is very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So those were the early days of really slogging and getting employee number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And that just took some Herculean effort. So you can imagine, you know, our HR team back in the day consisted of 1 person, and we all had to do different hats. And probably a lot of you out there in different functions have to do recruiting and have to do interviewing, and none of us are great at it because it's not what we do for a living. But you had to get very good at figuring out, is this person going to be a fit for our culture?
Mm-hmm.
Because we were building a culture, and really having that right person when you're a small company is absolutely not the primary thing. It's just about the only thing.
Totally.
So figuring out that person's background, not only from a background check perspective, but just who they were meaningful. And we were so thin, and having to spend time on other areas like background checks and having to follow up you just didn't have that bandwidth to grow. Now that we are a known entity and we are a success and we do have our plants and we do have a culture, now a lot of the issue is people are clamoring to work for us. And I was hiring a financial, that's a great thing. I mean, I was hiring a financial position and I had over 500 applicants for it. And now, but that's a volume that you have to go through, and you don't want to make a wrong decision because you have more choices now. So it's been a heck of a ride, but we continue to be lean on resources.
Yeah.
Especially in HR and finance and those functions. And we will continue to go down that path. So it's very important that we have partners like Scout Logic to help us, because we don't have an abundance of resources.
Well, and it's a great transition into talking about our partnership together. You know, we really consider ourselves an extension of our clients' HR and talent acquisition teams. And that can't be more true for Fairlife and our relationship, because you guys have worn so many hats, both starting as an early stage company into what you've grown into now. It's a great segue if you could just kind of share a little bit about what it's been like to work with us on the background check side.
I think probably the easiest thing is I don't have to make any phone calls to you or Scout Logic because there's an issue, which I can't say that for a lot of other stuff. So it has gone extremely smooth. We have, just put it in context, we have one recruiter um, who recruits for all of our stuff, and a lot of our functions play that role. And one of her best comments is, "I don't have to worry," meaning once a background check is started, once I hit the button, I don't have to worry and keep it on my checklist to check back on it. And she had said in our prior environment and in her prior companies, I always had to circle back because something stopped, something was a hiccup. So the amount of time spent on the background check itself wasn't just the efficiency on that one background check. It was the time and mind share spent checking up and something was stuck and following up on that one thing again. And when you're a lean organization with one recruiter or having other people do different hats, that's invaluable to have to not worry about a segment of it. And that's been literally the single biggest help in partnership, because it expands the amount of recruiting capacity and time that she has to talk to candidates and interview and being out there and going through my 500 applicants.
Andy, you're spot on for the value we're trying to bring. The recruiter's job is to find amazing talent for their company, not to be worrying about administrative back office tasks. Background checks, right, we're a necessary evil. We're an important part of the process, but we can slow down onboarding in many ways. So to hear that your recruiter can stay focused on finding great people for Fairlife, you made my day. So thank you so much for taking some time out of your incredibly busy schedule to share some thoughts and comments with us.
David, you're very welcome, and Scout Logic will remain a partner of ours as we get our 4th plant live and running, and maybe through our 5th plant as we continue to grow. So thank you.
Outstanding. All right, thanks, Andy.